Hi everyone, it's Cass. Welcome back to my channel, What Cass Read. Luna's also going to hang out with us. She likes this little playtime sesh. Today, I'm going to do a really short video. It was not intended to be this short, but it just so happens that there's only 3 books that I have to talk about. And the 3 books that I have to talk about are my most anticipated releases for late 2021. I will say one of the main benefits to not having been up on all the hot new releases from last year is that there aren't that many new releases this year that I need to pay attention to. And therefore, I don't need to spend that much money on new books. So let's get to it. Let's talk about my most anticipated releases for the rest of the year. So like I said, there's only 3 books. And you might be able to guess at least one of them, because I know I've already talked about it a lot. So let's go ahead and just get that one out of the way. That is Jade Legacy, written by Fonda Lee. This is the 3rd, and I believe it's the final book in the Greenbone saga. I think it's only going to end up being a trilogy. And I know that there's arcs floating around now. Like, trust me, the jealousy is so real right now. But there's arcs floating around. There's already some reviews that are up. I have been like, I don't want to listen to them. I don't want to know. I need to savor it. I want to be surprised. So the Greenbone Saga is a debut fantasy trilogy written by Fonda Lee. And it's this Asian-inspired fantasy metropolis island where there's these Asian crime family clans battling for turf, battling for power over the Jade on the island of Khan. Jade is really important because Jade is where they draw their power from. Super cool magical skills, just a really great multi-generational family saga. And most of you already know, because I've talked about it a couple times, that I have Jade War, which is book number 2, on my TBR, but I'm waiting till closer to the Jade Legacy release so that way I can read them back to back. Let's go on to Fonda Lee's Twitter page. She's been pretty active on Twitter lately, which has been really fun for me to follow. I just want to make sure I get the release date correct and not go by just what's on Amazon or something like that. Jade Legacy comes out November 30th. Very, very excited for that. Now, the other November release that I'm hyped for, but I'm not like, gosh, I'm not as hyped as I am for Jade Legacy. I will say that. Like, I'll buy it, but I probably won't read it right away. And that is Cytonic, written by Brandon Sanderson. This is book number 3 of, oh gosh, what is it called? The Skyward Trilogy. It's a young adult science fiction trilogy, I don't know how many more books there are going to be, following a young woman on a planet named Spensa. Spensa's family she's kind of grown up in this shame. Her father was this famed pilot who deserted in the middle of a battle, and that shame has followed her throughout her upbringing, and she's wanted to make a name for herself, prove herself to her planet, that she will not be a deserter, and she joins the military Air Force Academy, their equivalent of their Air Force. That's book number 1, where she's trying to find a place back within society. We have this mysterious alien race called the Krell. Book number 2, I have read that one. I read that, it can't have been last year. I did read that right when that came out as well, so it's been a while. But that one follows Spensa on like another adventure. We definitely take kind of a big departure from the first book, and it was exciting. It was not what I was expecting in the least bit, but definitely the problems that Spensa had in terms of this alien Krell race expanded, and it just kind of, everything kind of blows up in their face, in this whole society's face, based on what they learn about the Krell. So that's what we explore in book 2. Book number 3, obviously, Spensa makes a discovery at the end of book 2, and so that's kind of what I believe that the main plot and the main mystery about Psytonic will end up being. So that does come out in November as well. Let me check the date. It looks like November 25th. Is that even a Tuesday? It seems kind of off. So maybe it comes out November 23rd. If November 30th is a Tuesday, I don't know if book release dates are the same in other countries, but I know in the US they typically come out on Tuesdays. So maybe it'll be the same week or very close to the Jade Legacy release. All right, the next and final book that I'm really excited for the last part of 2021, it actually comes out in October. So I think I did this in like reverse order, but it was also kind of like my most anticipated, you know, like I started with the one that I'm really hyped about and then kind of moved down the line. But this one is called Vespertine, written by Margaret Rogerson. I am willing to give this a shot. Margaret Rogerson and I have kind of an odd relationship. So she is a young adult author. I've read 2 books of hers. One was The Enchantment of Ravens, which I didn't actually like all that much. I decided to give her another chance with Sorcery of Thorns. Both of these are standalone young adult novels, and I loved Sorcery of Thorns. I had a really good time with it. And Enchantment of Ravens is like a fair folk, fae kind of story. Sorcery of Thorns is a magical library adventure, but like monsters, not like whimsical magical library. It's like a monster kind of magical library. And I really enjoyed that one. And I had been thinking about Sorcery of Thorns recently, and I was like, does Margaret Rogerson have anything new coming out? And that's how I found out about Vespertine. This is actually going to be the start of a series. This is not a standalone novel, so that is also really intriguing. I wonder what she'll do, because the 2 different standalone novels that I read from her, one I wish was longer. The other one, of course, I wish I had more from some of these characters. So this time I'm actually getting a series from her, so I'm really excited to see what she'll be able to do. This takes place in a convent. Sound familiar? And our main character is studying to become a Grey Sister. And the Grey Sisters in this convent are the ones who prepare bodies for burial. They wash the dead bodies. So what happens? A nun who cleanses the bodies of the deceased so that their souls can pass on. Otherwise, they will rise as spirits with a ravenous hunger for the living. Okay, awesome. Very, very apt for October. I'm pretty hyped for this one. Like I said, Margaret Rogerson, I really enjoy the setup of all of her worlds. Even though I didn't particularly like An Enchantment of Ravens, it's the whole world of An Enchantment of Ravens was still really interesting. So I'm pretty excited about this one, and I think I'll get it as soon as it comes out and give it a shot. I'm pretty proud of myself for being this focused on anticipated releases. Normally, like, my list can get pretty long, but this has been really great. Now, last year I did not read Rhythms of War when that came out, which is book number 4 in the Stormlight Archive. I am planning on purchasing that in this fall season as well, because I've just been waiting for the large paperback to come out. All right, let me know what you thought about these picks in the comment section below. Which books are you still waiting for to be released at the end of 2021? I'm pretty excited to hear about some other people's picks. Follow me on social media if you want. I'm on Instagram and Twitter. It's at whatcassread, so it's the same as this channel. Super easy for you to find. I'm also on Goodreads, so that way that you can see what I'm currently and actively working on. And my Patreon launch is official, so if you want to support my page, if you want to support my content creation in that way, I will have the information for you to join my Patreon down below. Other than that, you know how these videos end. I'll talk to you later. Bye.